Tizo, thousands of miles behind. Now, Joe, put it under consideration. Does that sound like the intentions of a New York crime lord?
Moving.
Away from fear and closed minds. Why not? Joey, oh, are you all right? Is he all right?
He's alive. More stable than he was, I think. Maybe, maybe not.
They didn't operate.
No, but Roger says that as soon as he's strong enough, surgery is required. They already worked on George, though. He's going to be fine. A bullet passed right through his body, just missed his kidney.
Good Lord.
He was luckier than my uncle. Are you all right?
Oh, yeah, sure, I'm fine. Have you eaten anything?
Well, some people brought stuff, but I wasn't hungry.
Oh, what people? What, why don't you put your feet up here? Relax.
We're so sorry.
You know, Joe, anything you can do. You know that.
Yeah, I know, thanks. Sean, this is so hard.
Yeah, I wish I could be there with you.
I wish you could, too.
Well, can't you go have visitors? I wouldn't disturb him.
No, it's Hart's weekend. It would be better if you just wrote a note, and I'll bring it over to him. We can read it. He understands pretty well when he's conscious. He'll know that you're thinking about him.
Can he talk, Joe?
A little. He's fuzzy. I guess that's the concussion. And he's so weak.
Well, his loss of blood.
Yes, and the shock. And his heart. And then his aid being shot twice. Well, the bullet didn't penetrate his skull, but there were bone splinters. The x-rays showed that. So it's not just a question of cleaning out the wounds. Those splinters have to be removed.
Will they tell you what his chances are?
Yeah, 50-50 chance he'll make it through the surgery. Roger won't even talk about possible brain damage. I've seen Tizo a lot worse than that. 5 years ago, I told you. My uncle's a small man, but he's some combination of muscle and willpower keeps him on his feet. He's never sick. This one time, he had an accident, and the doctor said that he'd never walk again, but he showed me.
He made up his mind that he just wasn't going to go under like that, and it worked. It worked this time, too, Dalton. He's not going to die.
Joe, Roger is one of the best. He knows what he's doing. Tizo's in good hands.
And our prayers are with him. And with the Kansas, and I ask Bobby to change their mask for him.
Thank you. It's a good feeling, all this support.
Got more family than you thought.
Yeah. I only had Tizo for such a long time. I'm sorry. It kind of shakes me up.
You don't have to be in charge now. Nobody expects that.
Would you like to go in and lie down for this?
No, I've got to get back to the hospital.
Well, I'd like to go and sit in the nurse's station in neurology while you're with Tizo.
No, that's still not a good idea.
Well, but there are people there who brought him food.
They weren't in your position. They weren't,
In danger? But, Joe, what exactly is Siobhan's position? I'm sorry, but I have to know.
All I have to say is Tizo was cut down by men who had to be out of their minds. Given that, there's no safety around Tizo until those men are put away. He'll be dealt with quickly. The police have promised immediate arrest.
Well, what about Siobhan in the meantime?
In the meantime, I'm afraid I've made some promises I can't keep.
What promises do you mean?
I can't take you to Bermuda.
Well, of course not, till Tizo's better.
But I'd still like to send you on your own.
Absolutely not. I'll wait for you. What else?
Well, some of the plans that we've tossed around. Not plans, really, but possibilities, ideas.
Yeah?
I may not have the same kind of leeway now as far as where we live and so forth.
Well, of course not, Joe. Things have to come to a standstill temporarily.
Yes, the next few days or few weeks. Have to concentrate on your uncle. Making no apologies for it.
But what I was wondering, Joe, is if you'd be taking over some of your uncle's responsibilities. Temporarily. Like at the harbor site.
Tizo has asked me to, yes. Ordinarily, George would take over, but...
Hey, sure. I mean, you know the ropes. You could do it blindfolded.
It means I'll have to be a little more available.
Can I help?
The best way you can help is by taking care of yourself and the baby.
Well, I'd like to do something at the harbor side. Order food, who knows? I mean, I could be a little closer to home.
Siobhan, your home is here now until everything's settled. You can't go anywhere near Sheepshead Bay.
Well, I hope your plan is moving here, too. I mean, it's a little tight for space, but we can always make room. And it's peaceful enough. Little John is either at school or at play. And Delia's never around. She's so busy with her restaurant. Won't you do that?
Well, thanks for the offer, but I can't, Maeve. How is Delia? She was the first person that Tizo asked about.
Oh, well, she carried on a bit last night, but she's basically all right.
Why can't you move in? I want you to.
Well, my business is in Brooklyn. My boats. Plus whatever I have to do for Tizo.
But your wife's in Manhattan. Tizo's in the hospital just across the street.
Listen, sweetheart. Trouble may follow me. I don't want to risk that. I'd better get going. Lots of business to take care of, but I'll call you.
What business?
The usual.
You'll be at the hospital, though?
I may drive out to Sheepshead Bay, check things out there. Be nice to get a change of clothes. I love you. Be good.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks for everything.
Take care, Joseph.
I may need to call you at the hospital. Would you please not send a message to the nurse to talk to me?
Yeah, I will.
If I'm in trouble out at Sheepshead Bay, what about him?
Well, he may stay with Tiso. That bond goes very deep. That's obvious.
How deep is the question? I'm sorry, sweetheart, but that's exactly what I mean. If Joe is Tiso's heir, if he's the one Tiso has in line to take over, we may know that very soon.
So I told him $500 to fix a bunch of panels damaged by bullets is a little bit ridiculous. I'd see him around. He says $400. I say $250. So what does he do? He's coming over by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Can you believe that? See?
Look at this. That's like 12 hours and I'm still in shock. Keep hearing those guns. I can't even dress myself.
Do you want me to help you?
No. I'm sorry, what'd you say about the carpenter?
I said they'll be over this afternoon. They're charging half the original estimate.
If only that would solve our problems. No, it won't.
It will, too. The walls are going to be good as new. I mean, if people come with magnifying glasses.
Right, if they come, that's what's scaring me. The whole world knows there was a gangland shooting at Delia's Crystal Palace in the park. Suppose we open for business and nobody comes.
Is there scared it'll happen again?
Well, look how many times it's happened to me. The shooting at Ryan, the other night with Tizo's car exploding, and then last night, I opened my beautiful glass door to show off my beautiful terrace, and it happens again. Bobby, do you realize how many times I could have been dead?
Honey, I know that. You told me that.
I keep seeing it. Suppose the customers do and they stay away.
They won't. They're going to get curious. They're going to make reservations. As soon as they set foot in the old CP. Honey, we got time.
Delia's Crystal Palace is where you get shot. Now, that's what would stick in my mind.
Yeah, but your mind is different than everybody's else. Don't forget. I mean, unless Tiso decides to pay a return visit, which isn't very likely. Honey, what are you in such a rush for? I told you the
Let's
carpenters are...
take a walk. Bobby, what if he does come around?
Oh, Dee.
No, I mean, really. What if Tito loves the restaurant? It's his favorite, and he comes all the time.
Well, if anybody's going to get worried about getting shot at the Crystal Palace, it's got to be Novotny.
Well, Bobby, I can't turn him away. You know, I can't make him feel unwelcome.
You can't lock him out, but you can say to him that he's very bad for business. What are we worrying about anyway? The odds are Tiso is not going to live anyway.
Adam. Hi.
Hi.
What's the latest on Tiso?
Well, we're still trying to get him stabilized enough for surgery. Not good.
How's his heart?
It's weakened. That hasn't helped. Got a little scare about 3 o'clock in the morning. Some pronounced irregularities, but it didn't last long. I don't know. The prognosis I've been giving everybody.
Too many questions, huh?
At least 2 per visitor, and he's had a steady stream.
Not Siobhan.
No, I haven't seen any of the Ryans. Say, maybe you can answer a few questions for me.
Well, sure. Sounds fair.
Who's George, the other wounded man?
George is special assistant, bodyguard to Tiso. Very loyal. He's out of danger, right?
Oh, yeah. You know, he's got an abdominal wound that must be excruciating, but he's already asked me when he can be discharged.
George is, tough.
My impression they're all tough. Now, you suppose they're related or what?
Who are they?
Well, men who were here all night, the people sending all that fruit and flowers, and those guys who came in with... Those guys.
Oh, hi. I was hoping to see you.
Oh?
Yeah, I see him.
About the same.
Holding his own.
Seems to be, Jack. Well, I'm doing Brooklyn. I better...
A couple of minutes. No longer.
You're talking like a reporter. I can't give an interview. Sorry.
Wasn't going to ask you. It was Tiso that I had on my mind.
I'm afraid he's not up to it.
Of course not. I wouldn't consider questioning him now.
Good.
But if he has a statement that he'd like to make, I can guarantee that he'll be quoted accurately. He's had such bad press.
You'd give the other side of the picture, something like that?
I'd give a balanced story, Joe. You know my work.
Sure. But Tiso has no statement.
Okay. I assume he's conscious in talking to you at least.
Oh, yeah.
Could you make a statement on his behalf?
All I have to say to you is no comment.
Your uncle in agreement on that?
My uncle's an old, sick man who was shot for minding his own business. Write about the cowards who did that. Track them down. They're out there running for their lives while he's in there fighting for his.
You must be carrying a lot right now.
I am. Well, Brooklyn calls.
Do you know who shot him? Did he see?
No, we have no idea. So on.
He sure is different than when I met him at Ryan's.
Yeah. I don't know that, Joe. Tell me about those guys you mentioned, the ones who were here all night.
It was very strange. A lot of coming and going, consulting, sort of. Oh, I don't know.
Did they go in to see Tiso?
Well, a couple did. They came very late, after midnight. The rest just sat around and talked. Sometimes one-on-one, sometimes a few. They did not behave like family.
How did they behave?
Sort of like they were doing business, only very confidential. Hushed voices. And they stopped talking when I walked by. I walked by 3 times just to test them.
You did?
I'm very curious about people. I couldn't resist.
And every time you came by, the conversation stopped.
Inevitably.
Did Joe have any part in that?
Not much. He spent most of the time with his uncle.
What about the late visitors? Did they come together?
No. Each of them went in with Joe, stayed a little while, and left.
And they didn't talk to the other guy.
No, just Joe. I tell you, it was not your typical hospital vigil.
No. No, I can imagine.
And the money. If he dies, I'll just use up all the money in the account and close in 3 months. If he lives, I'll close anyway, because who wants to eat in a restaurant with gangsters? Ones we're shooting at anyway. Oh, Albert, what am I to do? You're the only one I can talk to. You know that.
Hey, you. Nobody's allowed back here.
Oh, I'm
You know,
here.
there's a law against bothering the animals. I could tell a cop.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm Albert's friend. I visit him all the time. You can ask Owen.
Look, lady, I'm in charge of this gorilla. If you mean Owen Douglas, he's gone.
No, he's going to the zoo in Ulster County, but he hasn't left yet.
Yeah.
Why?
Something came up. I couldn't say what. But I'm looking after things temporarily because the new guy's not here yet. And you belong out front.
Well, I can't believe that he didn't say goodbye. Oh, Albert, you must feel terrible.
Hey, get your hands off there.
It's all right. I'm not afraid of him. See, I'm the one that got him the first sign, you know, Banana. Owen said he was going to tell you about me. Delia Coleridge.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, get back. You, get back.
Don't poke at him like that. Albert, it's all right. It's all right. Don't be afraid.
Look, I'm just here temporarily until the new curator of primates arrives. Now, they didn't tell me anything about you, but they did tell me the rules. And you can't come back here anymore. And you sure can't get in my way when I'm handling the apes. And I'll treat him like a gorilla should be treated.
But Albert's different, really. He's very bright. Owen found him in Africa. His mother had just died, and Owen brought him to the United States, and he's been raising him and teaching him sign language. And just the other day...
Oh, let's go. Come on.
No, really. Listen to this. He's not going to understand about Albert. He's going to be very upset when he realizes that Owen's gone. He may even sense it already. And this comes on top of Victoria being sent to the Staten Island Zoo. She was his maid, and one day she just decided she didn't like him anymore, so he's very depressed and angry, and if you poke at him with that and yell at him, you're just going to make it worse. Look, let me give him a banana, really, and I'll show you how special he
You're
is.
not allowed to feed him.
I know. Just trust me. Come on, Albert. Albert, you want a banana? That's right. Ask for a banana. He's scared.
Dumb. He's an animal. This is how you give him a banana. Let's go.
Albert, I'll be back.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
I'm light on my feet.
Yeah. I thought I'd come home for lunch, see if I could catch Joe, but he's not over at the hospital.
It was. You just missed it.
Oh. How is he? How's Tizo?
Joe's fine, and Tizo's the same.
Hey, maybe he's over at Greenberg's. I think if I go over there now, maybe I could just catch him.
Siobhan,
Huh?
he's gone to Brooklyn.
What? Are you sure? Damn. No. Feeling so bad. Should have seen him this morning. He practically broke down.
Well, he's got himself in hand now.
Yeah, that's for sure. Got to manage those boats and be available for them out at the harbor side if they need them. You know, now that Tizo's critical, you think there'd be no reason for these men to go after Joe. I should be much less frightened, but I'm more.
Siobhan, I want to talk to you.
Talk. Suspense is killing me. What is it?
About Tiso and Joe. People I've seen, what I've heard, and some stuff Adam Cohn told me, it's all coming together. Would you go over the steps with me? It would help.
What steps?
All the explanations that don't hold water, one after the other, starting with Tiso being retired. I can't seem to make them add up.
Well, that's a lie. We all seem to agree there's no way around that.
In the story about the attacks on Tiso, an old enemy settling an old score. Now, that's impossible.
It's a gang war about who controls the narcotics market. That's what the papers say.
Yeah, but not what Tiso and Joe said.
No. Look, Jack, if we're going to be here adding up lies, it could take all day. Joe has never believed that Tiso was retired. He knew all along what Tiso did, even the details, I suspect. I'm not so naive about that anymore. But I told him I hated his dishonesty, but that I love him and trust. What are you leading up to?
Trust? What?
You know, the fact that Joe's not in line to take over for Tiso.
I think he is. That's what came together at the hospital.
How?
We acted. What Adam Cohen told me. Siobhan and I saw him come out of Tiso's room with 4 bodyguards. The blue jeans were gone. It's not the same in a dark suit. He's not the same, Siobhan.
What did he say?
Nothing important. Was the manner. He was polite, reserved, in charge. He's the boss.
No, it can't happen just like that.
At least while Tiso's down.
He was here just this morning. He was in tears. He was holding my hand, Jack. He would have told me.
Would he? Adam Cohen said that there was practically a convention of guys in dark suits at the hospital. They're coming and going all night. Long conversations and hushed voices. Joe took a couple of them, select ones, in to see Tiso. They weren't discussing his health. They're taking care of crucial business.
Well, when he left here this morning, Daddy said we'd find out soon.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to believe this, Jack. If he really is involved with these people, I mean, if he's actually giving orders, how do I live with him? So, how do I live with him?
I guess that's what you decide next.
But you don't know for sure, Jack. Why? Because Joe walks around in a dark suit and Tiso's friends come to visit him at the hospital at night and they talk to Joe? Tell me why you're so sure.
I told you.
Well, tell me again.
His manner. Whole new set of vibes he sends out. You can hear it in his voice. You can see it in his eyes.
What are you talking about? Vibes? You've never used that word before in your life, Jack. All right, he's acting strange. Okay, I saw him in here this morning. He's very upset about his uncle. He was up all night.
Damn it, Siobhan, it's hard, I know, but it's the truth.
Why?
Because it's there.
Yeah, he was up all night. He was in with Tiso. Adam Cohn was on duty. He told me there was a procession of guys in and out of that hospital all night long. The waiting room was filled with guys. Dark suits carrying on hushed conversations. Once in a while, Joe would come out and say something. And a few select guys were taken by Joe in to see Tiso.
Well, did Adam overhear any of these conversations?
No. When he got close, they shut up.
Well, who the hell is Adam Cohen? Does he know Joe? Do you?
Do you?
Yes. I know the person I love. I know the man I married. I'm having his child. I want him to be there. I know the man I fell in love with last summer.
You thought.
I did. I do. You know him, too. You introduced us.
Yeah.
Your old friend from the docks? I've never known anybody like him. Never. He sent me a fish with a rose in it, too. I thought that was weird. I didn't know what to expect from him. I was afraid because he was always so serious. But he could make me laugh, even when I didn't want to. Some people said that his uncle was involved in criminal things. Some people accused his nephew, too, but I didn't. Not this man. I know Joe. I remember the time he tricked me into coming onto his boat. 3 whole days. Oh, I was furious. I swore I'd never speak to him again. But something happened. I fell in love with him. I still am. I'm talking like he's not even here. Of course he is. He's here. He's still... I know him. I want him back. But if what you're saying is true, how can I make that happen?
Joe's taken over for Tiso and you want him out. That could be a very difficult, if not an impossible situation. I don't doubt that there were many times when Tiso wanted to retire during all those years, but they can't. Siobhan, those men are in too deep. They know too many things about too many people. On the other hand, if Joe isn't in that far yet, there still could be time.
I have to try.
Just be careful.
I want to talk to him. I need to see him.
We'll call him, tell him you have to see him on some neutral territory where we'll both be safe.
Yeah, well, Daddy won't burst in, put him on the defensive, and then...
Tell him just what you told me.
The question is, will he hear me?
He will. But don't dance around and avoid asking what you have to know.
Of course, I already have. He promised answers when this is all over.
When's that gonna be? Could go on for a long time. Forever, maybe. If you want, you need answers. You deserve them. Don't be afraid.
Yeah, well, guess what? I am.
Joe loves you. You know, the guy you were telling me about, my old friend from down in the docks, the one I introduced you to? He once told me that you were the best thing that ever happened to him. That was the truth. You were his chance for some kind of decent life. You still are.
I love him. I want to go away with him. I want to just forget all this and start over again. I want to have my baby and know that we're safe together.
For what it's worth, I think Joe wants the same thing. He may not be able to get out of it. He may not even be allowed to.
Don't say it.
Sure. That may be how it is. You won't know until you try.
Can you give me a couple minutes?
Sure. Want a cup of coffee?
Oh, I'd love it. Thank you. Jack. Really, man. Thank you.
All right.
Wally's been trying to cut into Caesar's operation for the past 3 years. He knows now it's a waste of time.
Word is you might be willing to compromise. Tizo brings him in, gives him a share.
No deal.
Joe, it might be worth it if it puts
I
an end to...
said no deal.
Sorry.
Now, what's the situation on the reinforcements he called in?
They were supposed to leave town, right?
Well, that was one of the conditions of the agreement at the last meeting.
Well, it didn't happen.
Okay, then, let's see that it happens now. I want hourly... Yeah, hello. Hello?
Joe?
Siobhan? What's wrong?
I need to talk to you.
Well, I'll try to get up there tonight.
No, not tonight. Right away, please. It's important.
Well, what's happened? Is Tizo worse or something?
No, I want to see you. I want to talk about us.
I'm in a meeting right now.
What kind of meeting?
I'll see you tonight.
No, Joe, please, listen to me. Don't do that. I'm trying to tell you that I need to see you now.
I understand, and I'm trying to tell you that's impossible. I'll call you within the hour.
No, you don't. Not to me, damn it!
What? People?
Well, what kind of leverage have you got up there?
The Boston people owe Tizo many favors.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
This is only my opinion. I know it's up to what you say. But Wally's waiting for us now. He's on guard. I think if we wait a while, our chances will be better later.
Tizo was shot. He almost died. I don't forgive anybody for that. I want Wally out of it now. No waiting, no excuses, no clemency.
You want me to have Ramos take care of it?
Is he still at the warehouse?
Yeah?
Get him over here.
What do you think you're doing?
Hey, you want me to see what that is?
He'll handle it.
What do you think you're doing? This is my house.
Hey, look, I'm sorry. It's wrong, right? There's a meeting inside and nobody gets in.
What's going on?
I want to see you.
What are you doing here? Look, I told you I was in a meeting. How did you get here?
In a cab?
You know better than that. I said I'd call you.
Well, it wasn't good enough.
Look, Phil, if you want us to go upstairs and...
Oh, that's all right, Phil. She's leaving. Tell him to bring the car around.
Sure.
I'm not leaving.
You're going home, Siobhan. I'll be up there tonight.
This is my home. I'm your wife. What's going on, Joe?
I'll tell you all about it later.
Will you? Will you explain to me who these people are in my living room? Will you tell me why this meeting is more important to you than I am? Will you explain to me why you're acting this way and why I feel like I hardly know you? I'm afraid I'm not going to want to hear the answer.
I'll have to take that chance. I'll call you.
What is you here?
Well, I heard that Sheepshead Bay is a very good place to stay away from, especially the next couple of weeks.
You say the same about Riverside. With Tizo across the street in the hospital.
Yeah, they might try to finish him off.
Well, who's ever trying, they've done it 3 times. Just to say they're going to stop now.
Are you all right? Oh, I'm a little weird. Can I join you? Oh, my goodness. You look tired. Yeah. Jack, where's Jack?
He went down to the Gennaro Social Club. He said he wanted to talk to Jumbo about Joe. Honey, what's going on?
I ran out on Jack this morning. He'd seen Joe over at the hospital. And he came over here and laid it on me that his streetwise reporter instinct had led him to believe that Joe has taken over for Tizo's activities, legal and otherwise.
Sounds pretty heavy.
You bet.
Well, what happened? I mean, what exactly did Jack see?
An attitude had changed. Joe walking around in a dark suit, taking charge with a crowd of Tizo's men around him to protect him. Adam Cohen seems to have witnessed a ominous string of visitors all night long, hearing conversations in low tones. All of this made an impression on Jack, so he came over here and told me. I got scared enough that I had to go to Sheepshead Bay to get some answers.
When, just now?
Yes. There was a bodyguard in front of my door. I could not even get into my own house. So I raised a fuss. Joe finally came to the door.
Yeah?
I went inside. He told me he was having a meeting, and there were all these strange men sitting around.
What sort of men?
I don't know. They were all wearing dark suits as well. They looked very serious. Does that mean they're criminals? I don't know.
Well, they could have been associates, business associates, Joe.
Or Tizo's. Of course, it could have been Joe's thing. Oh. Whoever they were, I was not welcome there.
What do you mean?
Well, Joe told me he was too busy to talk to me, and he called a man over to put me in the car and take me home. That's my house. The living room is full of strangers. I was furious. There was nothing I could do except leave.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. You know, the most terrible thing has happened. Owen's gone.
Well, who's Owen?
Oh, he's the curator of primates over the zoo. I mean, he was. Now he's gone to his fancy new job in Ulster County. And his temporary replacement is this awful guy. And he's gotten Prince Albert. That's the gorilla I've gotten to know. He's gotten him all his pets.
Julia, you mean when you came in here and said something terrible happened, you were talking about a gorilla?
Yeah. You make it sound like he's some dumb animal. He's not very important. You never were very generous, Joe.
Look, Dee, we're right in the middle of something. Ma's upstairs, and I know she's been looking for you.
What are you in the middle of?
Will you go and see what Mom wants, please? I mean it.
All right, fine. Everybody's so self-absorbed in here.
She just didn't know what was going on, that's all. Anyway, I've got to get this situation resolved. I don't really want to be married to a criminal.
Siobhan, what you've got to do is find out what is really going on. You've got to ask Joe a few hard questions and get some answers.
Exactly what I went out there for. All I got from my pains was trundled back.
Well, this doesn't make any sense. Hold on.
Ryan. Hold on.
Particularly when you're arguing.
Well, here's your big chance. Joe.
Hello?
Are you all right?
Yeah? Joe?
It wasn't a very good idea you coming out here this afternoon.
I told you I needed to see you.
I told you I was in a business meeting.
Is it over?
Yes.
Well, good, because I need to see you now more than before.
Why can't you understand that I'm trying to keep you safe, and one way to do that is by keeping you away from me?
Joe, one of the reasons I don't understand is because I really don't know what's going on. One of the reasons I really don't understand is because I think that you're lying to me.
I'm not lying.
Yes, you are. I came out there this afternoon
It was damn dangerous.
because I'm worried sick about you.
Look, if you just listen to me, you'll know there's nothing to worry about.
I'm not talking about men with guns. I'm talking about you and me and the child that we are supposed to be having together.
Supposed to be? What's that mean?
Just what it says.
Listen, I don't know what this is all about.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm a girl that says the truth and is willing to take the consequences. And you're not telling me the truth, and I can't stand it.
Not telling you the truth about what?
About everything. About you and Tizo and what's going on.
That's pretty vague.
All I know is what you tell me is being different from what other people tell me.
What other people?
People whose opinions I respect. What I'm seeing with my own eyes. You're lying to me, Joe. You've got to be.
I'll tell you what. I'm so busy out here at the moment that I can hardly breathe. If you wait a couple of days, I'll come into town and listen to all your questions, and I'll have answers.
No.
What?
I'm not willing to wait. I want answers now. I really need them now. I'm afraid that I may have waited too long already.
Okay. I'll come in today.
Good, but not here. The family's involved too much already. I can meet you someplace. Or we can just drive around in the car.
I don't want to have this conversation with the driver listening.
It doesn't matter to me, honey. You pick the place. I just want to see your face while you're talking to me.
Well, I want to swing by and see Tizo. I'll meet you at Lem's. Give me 2 hours.
Fine.
Siobhan, you don't have to worry. I'll have men in front and back. It'll be safe.
Yeah, that's great. My husband, father of my child, is telling me that he's a simple fisherman by assuring me he's got plenty of bodyguards around. Never mind. You just worry about yourself. I'll be there. Oh, went all right. I'm going to see him in a couple of hours. I've just got to get this straightened out one way or another, you know?
It's a good idea for you to be meeting him.
I've got to, Frank.
I know you do, but it's safe. Are you meeting him in a safe place?
We're going to go to Lem's.
Siobhan, I know how hard this is, but you do realize that the people who are after Tizo could come after Joe.
Oh, great. Mr. and Mrs. Lem's restaurant could be shot up, too. I'd be responsible for that.
No, you aren't responsible for any of that.
I'm going to be all right. He's got plenty of bodyguards outside watching all the doors. It's terrific, isn't it?
Well, at least he's being careful and taking care of you.
Yes, Joe's always very careful. At least I'll get a chance to ask him some of these hard questions.
Right. I think I'm going to walk you over to Lem.
This is crazy, you know?
What is it?
My first thought as soon as you said that was, you can't go with me. It's too dangerous.
Believe me, I know that.
I'll go alone. They aren't going to bother me. Apparently they have some kind of rule about not touching wives and children. The only time I'm really in danger is when I'm with my husband. The whole thing is crazy. It's crazy.
Well, maybe things aren't the way they seem.
Well, I wish I could believe that. I really want to. I can't go on the way things are now. Something's got to change.
Will remain stabilized.
Is he going to make it?
It's hard to say. I am having a twinge of apprehension, though. If I miss a stitch, I might end up with cement shoes in the bottom of the East River.
Wait a minute. As I understand it, you're on his good list. Joe said that you saved his life.
Oh, it's incredible. I went to the Crystal Palace to ask Celia what the hell she was doing out at Sheepshead Bay the night of the bombing, and to tell her not to become buddies with Tizo Novotny.
And arrived just in time to see him get shot.
You know, I think the old man has a thing for her. I wouldn't be surprised if she's encouraging it, which is not the smartest thing to be doing at this moment. Excuse me, let me get some coffee.
Hello, Roger. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to talk to you tonight.
Well, I only came by for a cup of coffee.
Oh. Well, you know you can't sleep when you drink coffee at the tower.
Well, maybe we could sit down and have some decaf. There are a few questions that I want to ask.
Well, I can't. I have to get to the zoo before they lock up. I left a present for little John in Prince Albert's feeding room.
Well, don't try to make any surprise visits on Tizo Novotny. For one thing, he's about to go into surgery, and for another thing, he's not the safest person to be around these days, in case you haven't noticed.
Thank you for telling me.
Delia, I just want you to live long enough so we can have a conversation one of these days.
Well, conversation will be real nice. One of these days.
Listen, have you guys seen Faith lately?
No, not for a couple of days. Roger, what are you doing? I mean, all of a sudden you're worrying about everybody. Worrying about Delia hooking up with Tizo, maybe getting her hurt. Worried about Faith being withdrawn and depressed.
Well, as a matter of fact, I am.
Well, maybe we should start worrying about you. Where's my black sheep brother, who never cared about anybody except himself?
Do you reform me?
We're expected to believe that.
Roger, Faith has good sense and resiliency. You have to have confidence in her. I mean, she had a big blow when she lost Tom. Just give it time.
Well, maybe I've been seeing more of her lately than you have.
Well, I can't argue with that one. It's just that, I don't know, we've been people.
Yeah, I've always thought that Faith is such a strong person. It's really hard to imagine her giving into depression.
Yeah, even strong people have their limits, right?
Yeah, you could be right. Maybe we have been spending too much time among ourselves, huh?
Okay, I know what. We'll have it for dinner, just the three of us.
Yeah, good. You guys are incredible. A problem with solution, just like that.
The perfect marriage, except for the ceremony.
Well, as you were saying, time can change all sorts of things.
Meaning?
Meaning, I've got to get back to the hospital and check on my patient. Wish me luck.
You're a wonderful surgeon. You don't need it.
Wish me luck anyway.
Luck.
Now, what was that all about?
He is on to something about Seneca. I know it.
Okay, I'll get back so I can open the door. You want to eat, don't you? What else you got to do with your time, huh? I said get away from that door! You can take the ape out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the ape.
Hello, Prince Albert. I'm glad you're alone. How you doing? Wondering if you were all right, because you guys are awful grass. Don't worry, he's only temporary, and Owen's real replacement will be here soon, I hope. You understand about how he had to leave, you know. It's not because he doesn't care about you. Oh, and I forgot. Present for little John. The super robot. He walks and flaps. Albert! I'll bring you a present next time. I hope that guy will let me give it to you. Owen was nice. He really loves you, you know. And I'm sure he's doing whatever he can do so that you could be at that zoo in Ulster County with him. You just have to practice patience, Albert, the same way I do. I mean, it's crazy for me to be alone the way I am. Of course, I have lots of friends. The Ryans, sort of, but that's mostly because I'm Little John's mother. But Teaser Novotny, he's my friend. Except he's real sick and he might die. And then, too, he's probably a terrible criminal, but I'm patient because I know that one day Roger will realize how terrible he's treated me, and he'll come back and he'll say he's sorry, and that he loves me, and that he'll never be mean to me again, and then we'll be together again. Just like you and Owen will. Everything will be all right. Huh? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I better go now. I gotta find that guy and tell him how I found my package. In case he realizes that it's gone and that I was in here against his order. So you sleep tight now, okay? Hello, Mr. Zookeeper? Hello, is anybody around? Bye-bye, Albert.
Check out the Chillin' with Dylan Marathon, Friday starting at 1 p.m. till 9 p.m. on SoapNet.
Wait, Albert, stay. Sit. Sit, Albert. Sit. That's good. I'm sorry for talking to you like a dog, but that's the first thing that popped into my head. Good, Albert. No, that's okay. Just stay there a while I figure out what to do. Just sit quietly for a minute. You aren't going to hurt me, I know that. If I seem nervous, how do we get you the cake? No, wait, Albert, wait. That's good. Hey, Albert, want a banana? Would you like a banana? That's right. Good. Albert wants a banana. Now, the bananas are in the other room, you know? In there? Can you come with me? Come on, Albert.
What's going on?
Hi. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. Have you seen my brother?
No, he should be here any time. I'm assisting him in surgery this evening.
Oh. Well, then just tell him I said hello. I keep missing each other.
Why don't you wait? He should stop by here.
Well, yeah, I can for a few minutes.
So have you read any good fortune cookies lately?
Oh, that horrible night at Ben's. Adam, I want to apologize for running out. No, I just didn't feel at all sociable that night. Roger dragged me there. I love him, but he can be high-handed at times.
I know, he's my boss. You want to have another go at some lucky seafood dinner?
Actually, I'm not going that much.
Oh. Well, I hope that changes.
Oh, here's the man. Hi, honey.
Hi.
We, scrub in half an hour.
What's going on?
Adam is assisting me with the surgery on Tizo Novotny.
Oh. You didn't tell me that.
I'm trying not to think about it.
Well, that's pretty difficult with the halls filled with men in dark suits.
How serious is it?
Well, the surgical procedure is not the problem. He sustained a head wound, some bone damage. The other bullet went through the right forearm, hit the ulnar nerve and the radial artery. It's tricky, but it's not serious.
Of course, if he hadn't been there on the spot with a tourniquet, he'd have bled to death right then and there.
Well, our main concern right now is shock. He's stabilized now, but with a man his age who's lost that much blood, he could go out on the table.
What are his chances?
50-50?
At best. Is he prepped?
No, they're doing that now. Oh, his nephew's stopping by. He said he wanted to speak to him before he went up.
Did you tell the police guy? One of New York's finest, at his door around the clock, plus two of his own men, and of course, Joe always has his entourage with him. I keep having this vision of looking up from the operating table, seeing one of these big guys with a .38 trained on me, waiting for my hands to slip.
Or one of Wally Hammett's men doing the same thing if it doesn't.
Dr. Cohen, you're supposed to be assisting me, not adding to my anxiety. Would you say something supportive, please?
Oh, I've never known you to make a mistake. Medically speaking, of course.
Thank you.
You did beautifully. I have one question, though. Say Tizo does pull through, considering he has even chances. What then?
Well, I guess it'll be, eventually be business as usual. There'll probably be some impairment of the hand, but otherwise, he's got as many years to operate as he's able.
Providing nobody tries to pick him off again.
No, I'm talking about now, right now. If he pulls through, he's going to have at least a week or two of post-op care. And if they're still after him, he's going to be totally vulnerable.
No. Not with the police guard and his own men. And Joe is around most of the time.
Roger, he's been guarded all along, and they managed to get him at Ryan's with all the guns. They got his car, and they finally got him at Delia's restaurant. Now, why should he be any safer here? My point being that if he's not safe here, anybody around him is not safe either.
Albert.
sick, and I hated him. I don't want that for you, Albert. I know you're upset, and I don't blame you, all these transitions and changes. But tranquilizer's not what you want. That's not going to make you feel better. That's not near as good as a banana. Would you rather have a banana? Yeah. Let's go get a banana. Good. Don't be impatient now. Come on. Can you get back in the cage now so I can give you some bananas? Come on. No, not here, Albert. Here. In here. This is home. You know, everybody has a place they hang out in. Oh, I know. You miss Owen. I understand. Believe me, not exactly, but like when Roger and I split up, felt like everything was falling apart, but new people will come into your life, and new things will start happening, and a new man is going to come take care of you. His name is Richard. Richard's fine. You'll like him. No, I know you will. You like him. Here we go. Banana for Albert. Yeah. You go get it? Come on, Albert, please. You're my friend. I'm counting on you. Okay. Look. See how nice it is in here? It's like home. Here's the banana. Here it is. Right.
You're upsetting.
I'm upsetting him.
Get out.
Right, Albert, I'm sorry. I'll come back.
The hell you will. I fixed the door.
Did you have to tranquilize him?
That's my business, not yours. Now, what happened?
I left my package there the time before, and I guess after I left, the door popped open and he followed me out.
I told you not to go into the feeding area without permission, not half an hour ago.
Well, you weren't around.
So you took it on yourself.
It won't happen again.
Why don't you go visit the big cats? There's a dandy North American cougar over there that would love some company.
Now, look, it was all right. I mean, I didn't make it happen, but it was under control. He was responding to me. I almost had him back in there when you showed up. I'm sorry, I know you're trained, but you don't know Prince Albert. Now, we have a really special relationship. But it's ruined now. He'll never trust me again. He's very sensitive.
He's dangerous. And you're very, very lucky.
Well, Prince Albert's not, and I feel sorry for him. Goodbye, Albert.
Sorry. You been waiting long?
No. So you brought your friends?
Yeah. There's 2 men out front, 2 in the back, 2 in a car across the street. You're safe.
I don't want to comment on that. Did you see Tizo?
For about 30 seconds. I'll go back later. They're getting him ready for surgery.
How was he?
Old, weak. They give him a 50-50 chance for making it through the operation.
After that?
Better than a 50-50 chance for recovery.
Well,
How long is that going to take?
No one's saying.
I see. I'm glad. I hope it turns out all right.
I know you do. Thank you. Are you okay?
No.
Look at me.
That's what it's all about, isn't it? I want answers to my questions. I want to see your face when you're telling them to me, but I can't. Hurts too much to look at you. I don't think that we better do that.
Ask your questions.
Okay. If you can't tell me the truth, don't tell me anything. Please?
I already tried that. It wasn't good enough for you.
I'm beginning to understand your situation. I mean, I'm trying. If you can't answer, you can't. But please, don't lie to me.
Siobhan, I told you I'm here to give you straight answers.
Well, wait a minute. Now, don't get defensive or anything or act like there's no reason for me to doubt your word. A long time ago, you told me, and Tizo told me himself, that he was retired from organized crime for 15 years. I figured you were the person who knew him best, so I believed it. And I married you because I wanted to give Tizo the benefit of the doubt. I knew you wouldn't lie to me. Now it's become increasingly clear that Tizo hasn't retired, and it's even more clear that you seem to have known all along. I'm trying to understand your lie to me in terms of your loyalty to him. If you felt that you couldn't really admit to anyone what you knew about Tizo, because it might be dangerous to him.
It would also be dangerous to you.
Honey, more than the situation as it is now, where we can't live together as man and wife under the same roof and we're reduced to having our conversations in Lem's, a little neighborhood restaurant, surrounded by bodyguards?
I had choices. I could have told you enough so you understood about Tizo's business, thereby placing you and him in danger. Left it up to you to make the next move. I decided I couldn't do that. I could have ended it, walked down on you without explanation. I tried that. You were hurt and furious, and I couldn't go through with it. I believed you loved me. I knew I loved you. I thought I could keep you safe and protected from Tizo's business. He protected me from it for so many years. I didn't feel like I was lying to you. It felt like I was giving us a chance to have a life together. I wanted you so much. I want you so much.
Okay. Let's just set that aside for a minute, all right? Now, I told you the other night that it meant a lot to me when you agreed to go away for an extended vacation because it meant that Tizo didn't need you. It meant that his business was not your business.
Yes.
So the question is, have you taken over for Tizo? And if the answer is no, prove it.
What?
I think that I'm entitled to... I'm not gonna cry. I think that your child is entitled to know whether his father is involved in Tizo's criminal activities.
If you understood anything of what I told you the other day, I'm not free to say anything about what I know or what I don't know about Tizo's business. I'm certainly not free to offer proof about any part of it, and if I did know something, I certainly wouldn't tell you. That's dangerous information.
Not Tizo. It's too late for that. I know about Tizo, about you.
Siobhan, Tizo has many legitimate businesses. The harbor side is the one he cares about the most. He also has a lot of money tied up in real estate. Warehouse, laundry firm. And those take double management because the IRS is all over him like a rash, trying to nail him for tax evasion. That's part of what I'm doing for him now. And it's hard for me because, for my sake, he's always tried to keep me at arm's length. And I really don't know as much about things as I should.
He's got taxmen, accountants. Why don't they do that?
He doesn't want to use them. I'm his executor. I'm second in command when it comes to legitimate business. If I'm going to inherit those things, I have to know what I'm getting myself into. I have to know what I'm doing if I decide to liquidate.
Okay, that's part of what you're doing for him. What's the other part?
All right. You're not going to like this.
Go on.
Tizo has other associates, some of whom are potential enemies, and they're not any more sure about me than your family is from another point of view. They're not sure where I fit in or if I fit in. With Tizo out of it and helpless, if I'm around, keeps him off balance.
You mean some of them think that you're taking over for Tizo?
I haven't, but they don't know that. There's no way for them to know it, not for weeks anyway. In the meantime, they have to assume there'll be an orderly succession of power.
Joe, you are in danger. How can you let Tizo do that?
At the moment, he doesn't have much choice.
Joe!
Siobhan, I'm all right. I'm taking care of myself, but that's one of the reasons why I want you at your parents'.
All right. Are you telling me that even if Tizo comes to the surgery all right tonight, if he's up and walking around, that you won't even then be able to leave town soon?
That's right.
Because I was going to ask you to go. I was going to ask you to see Tizo through surgery and then go. Bermuda in the spring and then maybe drive across the country. I could show you Seattle. I've been told that there's a bronze plaque on the Seattle jail that says Siobhan Ryan slept here. Isn't that ironic? I'm the one with the prison record.
Siobhan.
Can you do that, Joe?
No.
I didn't think so.
He needs me.
I need you.
Yes, but not in the same way and not now. Look, you've got a whole support system over there. He's only got me.
That's what I'm afraid of.
I love you. You know that. I said I'd take care of you. I'd take care of us. I will.
But Joey, this isn't about loving. It's about trust. And that is damn hard to do when you always have to lie to me about Tizo.
Siobhan, I need a little time to do this for my uncle. I don't think that's so much to ask for.
No, not if I understood what's going on. Not if I knew when it was going to be over.
I don't need deadlines. I don't need an ultimatum. Now, you either believe that I love you and I want a life together, or you don't.
All right. I'm going to go back to my family. And I want you to do whatever it is that you have to do with Tizo when you feel that we can be safe together. When you can tell me that Tizo doesn't need you. And that you're not in line to take over and that you're not a part of any of his other businesses. Come up to Riverside. I'll be there. You know where to find me, but until then, stay away.
How you doing?
Not bad.
We'll be taking you up to surgery in about 5 minutes. I'll be here when you come down.
If I come down,
You will.
expect the best. Prepare for the worst.
Is there anything I can do for you?
You're already doing it.
Anything else?
How is Siobhan?
Not so good.
Why not?
She's worried about you. She's worried about all of it.
Joey, keep it together. Siobhan, good girl. I like her. I know what she means to you. But beyond that, for the business, keep that together.
I understand.
You okay?
Well, I thought I could keep her out of all of it. I thought I could have both.
That's not easy.
No.
But it's possible. It's up to you to keep it all together, to make it work.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
I just saw Joe. And I don't think I'm going to see him again for a long time.
Siobhan.
I had to.
I think I did the right thing. But maybe it means that I won't see him again, ever. It's hard, Mother. I love him. I did it.
Yeah, your mother told me. He had no answers for you.
We were over at Lem's. There were 2 guys out in the back, 2 guys out in the front, 2 guys across the street, 2 guys across the room. We were very safe. I asked him to prove to me that he wasn't taking over for his uncle. He told me he's Tizo's executor right now. I know. Wasn't exactly what I had hoped for.
Did he tell you what executor meant?
Sure, it means that he's managing the harbor side, taking over some real estate property, and managing various other legitimate businesses. Well, he's not involved anymore. As we sat there surrounded by 8 bodyguards, one of whom wouldn't let me into my own home shortly before. I don't even know why I call it my home. Joe just has his meetings there now.
Siobhan, what the hell are you talking about? You didn't go to Sheepshead Bay.
Yes, I did.
Huh?
I had to.
Why did you have to? When? Do you know how dangerous that is?
Please. I'm trying to hold myself together here. An aggressive attitude just doesn't help very much, okay? I called him on the phone, and I asked him to come see me right away, and he told me he was in a meeting, and that he'd talk to me later, and then he hung up. It was his voice. It was very cold, as if I was a child trying his patience.
So you took off and you found a guard in front of your own door.
Yeah. I yelled loud enough to be let in, though. Almost wish I hadn't. You remember those guys that Adam Cohen said were at the hospital in dark suits coming at all hours of the night to visit? They were in our living room. A lot of them, and Joe seemed to be in charge.
But he talked to you.
Sent me back to Riverside. Once again, I was a child out of line.
You must have been furious.
I was. I am. But he called later, and we were going to meet at Lem's.
And you asked him for proof.
I said, come away on the trip with me. Show me that you're free to leave now.
And?
He can't. Not while Tizo's sick and he has legitimate business to tend to. He got mad. If I love him, why can't I trust him to do what he has to do?
So how does it stand now?
I'm here. He's there. Till he can make me believe him. I did the right thing.
Tizo came through the operation. The doctor's on his way up to talk to me.
Oh, that's great. That's terrific. Yeah. Hey, tell me something straight.
Just about to do that. Tizo's being moved to a private room. He'll like it better, and Tizo tells me you snore. I made the arrangements.
So I snore. So Mrs. Privacy. Hey, look, I'm protection. I know who goes and comes here. Hey, if it's not my business, I sleep. But I'm here. I'm watching out for Wally's people.
Look, there's a cop stationed at Tizo's door 24 hours a day. We've got people in the lobby. Tizo's covered. Now, for once, you're off duty. Get well and don't argue, okay?
Hi. Hi. They'll be bringing him up from recovery in about 10 minutes. We use the lightest possible anesthetic, so he's awake and asking for you.
No kidding. Hey, his heart's holding up? There's no brain damage or anything?
So far, so good. Dr. Coleridge worked very fast. He got all the bone splinters out of the skull. There is still, of course, the problem of the right arm. The bullet hit the ulnar nerve and the radial artery, which means considerable impairment, I'm afraid.
Well, the main thing is he's alive and thinking straight and able to function.
Well, it'll take a little time, but he'll be back on his feet. You'll excuse me, I want to keep an eye on him while they bring him up.
Oh, sure, yeah, go ahead. Hey, thank you.
Joe, tell me something. Are you going to step in for good?
I don't know yet. We'll have to see how Tizo is.
You'll feel a lot better in the morning. Sleep now.
Can't sleep yet.
He's a real night owl. Right, Uncle?
Right. I have questions.
Now, the headache will let up gradually, and your head's fine, believe me.
What about what's inside the head?
There's absolutely no significant brain damage.
Significant?
Well, you may have some lapses of memory, some confusion during recovery, but that'll stop.
In other words, you're going to walk away from this thing in one piece. Tell him how lucky he is.
I know, Joey. Now, about the hand.
Well, that's a slightly different story, I'm afraid.
How bad?
You may have to manage with a couple of stiff fingers.
Paralyzed?
Yeah. But therapy sometimes makes a difference. Look, you'll be here a couple of weeks. Let's wait and see, okay?
I understand. Thank you.
Sure.
Maybe I will sleep now.
Good. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, good night. See you then.
Joey, get rid of the woman.
Get your son some coffee, huh? I'll stay with him for a while.
Tell me when I'll be stronger. Be myself, did they say?
A few months, maybe. They only said that you can't rush it.
I'm sorry.
I know. I can handle it.
I'll get well fast.
Tizo, I'll run things as long as you need me to. Don't worry.
I'm worried about Siobhan. They had me doped up before the operation, but I remember you saying something about her being upset. What about it? Did you talk to her?
Yes. She wants proof that I'm clean. Until I give it, she's at Ryan's, and she won't see me.
Joey, give her the proof. Do what you need to do. But take care of it.
I will. I'll take care of everything.
Better?
Why is it so difficult for me to leave things unresolved? Just let them be the way they are. I always want to fix things, to find answers, and just clean it all up. You know, that's what was so great about the catechism questions. They had it all laid out in the book for you right there. All you had to do was memorize it word for word, and you were set. Your whole world was ordered for you.
Yeah, but not Tizo's world.
No. I never expected to be having a baby and have it start its life here in my parents' house, in my old room.
Hey, you could do worse. Besides, by the time you're ready to deliver...
Oh, no. I'm not going to set any deadlines for getting back with Joe. No deadlines. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe next year. Maybe never. That's really what I think. Why isn't it what I feel? How do I learn patience?
I have a suggestion. Not nearly as good as a catechism answer, but it might be a little relief. Why don't you take a little time for yourself? Vacation. Bermuda even.
I think I'd feel alone. I wouldn't want to leave all the support I have here. Doesn't that sound funny? Coming from a kid who hitchhiked alone across the country.
Well, I guess you just don't have to do that anymore.
Well, what I need to do is put my nose into my work, tend to business, and wait. Give Joe some room and hope, and not know what's going to happen, and be okay.
Joe loves you. He wants you and that baby something fierce. Now, maybe he's already started to free himself from Tiso. It could turn out.
There's some lady out here insisting to see him.
Tell her we're sorry, but it's much too late.
What lady?
It's me, Delia. I'm sorry, but he's barely out of recovery.
Never mind that. Show her in.
So, how are you?
They tell me I'm better.
Does it hurt?
On my arm, I don't feel much. My head hurts.
Strain will make that worse, Mr. Novotny. You're not supposed to have visitors.
Delia's not a visitor. She's medicine.
You're sweet, but maybe I shouldn't.
I suggest you take your break now.
Yes, Mr. Novotny. Only a few minutes.
Nurses make me nervous. No more after tonight.
Tizo, are you sure that's safe? Shouldn't somebody be keeping an eye on you? I mean, medically speaking?
There's a policeman outside the door. My people are nearby. I'm a tough old bird, my dear. I'm a survivor.
That's pretty clear. In fact, that's sort of what I came here to talk to you about. I mean, other than to find out how you are, which of course I do anyway.
I don't understand.
Well, sort of like survival of the fittest. I mean, they keep trying and you keep being lucky, comparatively anyway. This could go on indefinitely. Tizo, I really hated that happening at the Crystal Palace. I mean, we haven't even opened yet, and I'm replacing paneling.
It could have been worse.
Well, that's the point. I can order a new panel, but I can't order a new me. I could have been blown to bits at the harbor side. I could have been shot in my own restaurant. And what about starting off with a bad reputation right in the beginning? What about your investment?
How can I help you, Delia?
Well, I need some kind of insurance from you.
That I won't get shot? Well, obviously, you can't guarantee that. But I have taken care of the emergency financial thing. And what else can I do?
Well, you're supposed to be silent partner, right?
That's our agreement.
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't think that you should come around anymore. I mean, be a real silent partner, silent and invisible. What's so funny?
That's a nice thing about you, Delia. You keep me safe from self-pity. You make me understand that there are other problems in the world besides my own. Don't worry, though. I won't be going away from here very soon. That's obvious.
What about after?
I don't know. Maybe the bullets won't kill me. Maybe I'll die from laughter.
Please don't cut it out. I don't want you to do that.
That's quite all right. You've given me a lift.
I wish I could say the same.
All right, Delia. Be assured of this. I won't do anything to endanger our mutual interests. I won't frequent the Crystal Palace. I'll do everything in my power to stay alive. How's that?
Thank you. Oh, I hope I didn't hurt your stitches or anything.
No. As a matter of fact, I feel better. You've taken my mind off my worries.
You were worried too? How come? Or shouldn't I ask?
About Joey and Siobhan. They have troubles, you know. Siobhan needs reassurance. But I think some of her demands are unreasonable.
Like what?
Well, she wants to be sure that Joey's not involved in some of my business operations, which of course he isn't, except the ones she's worrying about.
What are those?
Now, I must ask you to be the silent partner. No more questions about anything except the Crystal Palace.
Sure. So, Joe won't tell her stuff, and that makes her mad.
He has nothing to tell. But Siobhan is scared. She's so scared that she may not go back to him after this is all over.
But they love each other.
I know. And they're going to have a baby. And that's a commitment.
Maybe I could talk to her. I mean, I'm very pro-marriage. I've done it 3 times. And I know how Maeve is about marriage and children. Siobhan might listen to me.
It wouldn't hurt. You go ahead if you like.
You know a Michael Pavel? He's here for you.
Oh, Michael, of course. Come in. Well,
from everybody at the harbor side.
And you couldn't get a florist to deliver it.
Well, I said I was coming over after work, so.
Oh, I appreciate that, Michael. I'm very touched.
It's really huge. It's like for somebody's funeral. Or church or something.
You know Mrs. Cullery, Michael?
We met at the explosion.
Yeah, nice to see you again. Well, everything's fine back at the restaurant, and everybody misses you, and hope you get well real quick.
Oh, thank you. Tell him not to worry. Tell him I'm awfully hard to kill.
Yeah, I will. Well, the guard outside wasn't so happy I came in. I better be going.
Oh, okay, son. Thank you. Give my regards to your mother.
Sure. So long.
Bye. Maybe I'd better get going, too. Listen, you be well and try not to worry.
I won't worry if you won't.
You're flushed, Mr. Novotny. You really shouldn't be having visitors.
Nonsense. They were both good for me.
I saw that.
So what?
This cigarette. And I'm going to tell Maeve. For your own good.
For your own good, you better do nothing of the kind. Where you been anyway, sneaking in here like that?
I was visiting.
Visiting who?
I went to see my friend Prince Albert.
What, the gorilla at 10 o'clock at night?
Well, I know that's done, but that's what I did. And of course I couldn't get in, so I had to come right back here. I wasn't thinking because I was worried about him.
About who? Your gorilla friend?
Yeah, Albert. We have this really nice, happy friendship, you know. He really trusts me. Except I'm afraid it's all over because this afternoon he got out of his cage by mistake. And I sort of had to trick him to get him to go back in. And he was really furious at me.
Oh, he was he?
Yeah. He hollered and he roared and he threw himself up against the bars of the cage. I'm really scared to go back because he'll remember. Owen told me once that a gorilla can hold a grudge indefinitely.
See, you really don't have to tell me where you go and what you do. You know that? At least that happens to be one of the